This year's RGU Student Union elections and the latest of our candidate debates today. We're streaming live on RGU Union on Instagram from here in the Riverside building on our Garthdee campus. A big welcome to everyone who's tuned in online and to everyone who has joined us in the room as well. My name's Ross Leaven. I am the Student Experience and Partnership Manager here at RGU, and I'm also a former student president, so I'm delighted to have been asked to host today's candidate debate. This year there are 4 different roles being contested as part of the student elections. Voting takes place next week from Tuesday to Thursday across campus and online. But this week is all about you finding out what our candidates are going to do if you elect them. It's your chance to hear from them about who they are, what they're running to do, and why they want you to vote for them. So, over to the candidate debates. Well, this year the Union's running a number of candidate debates. We're on the 3rd one today, and today we're hearing from the candidates for the role of President of Education and Democracy. We'll start by hearing directly from each of our candidates, who'll outline their manifestos and explain what they want to achieve if you elect them into the role, why you should vote for them, and then there's a chance to ask them some questions. So we'll ask them some questions, some general questions about their role, some specific questions about their manifesto, and then it's over to you, whether you're in the room or online, to ask some questions as well. So if you're watching on Instagram, please do comment your question, and our team will do their best to get through them all. And if you're in your room, please put the hand up and the team will call you over to ask your question as well. So we have 5 candidates running for the role of President of Education and Democracy this year. We have Clara, Yanela, Motashim, Mohammed, and Ramadan as well, and they'll all have a chance to introduce themselves in just a moment. So we'll start now. We'll hand over to our candidates, and we'll start with you, Clara. You have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and your manifesto and why you think people should vote for you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here today. As our chairman rightly said, I'm Clara, contestant for the presidential candidate, Education and Democracy. As a natural-born leader, I am a people person in the sense that I love to see people being built up. And for that reason, I have handled several leadership roles growing up, which includes being a president for a women's community. And here at RGU, I serve as the leader, the student representative for my cohort, Reading Pharmaceutical Sciences, Masters. And I aim to bring a whole lot of changes to the RGU board, including fostering inclusion, diversity, ensuring that respect is among the students of RGU, both for international students and those here in their home, the home students, yeah. And also to strengthen the SU, the Students' Union Board, given a wider engagement and participation so that student voices can be heard, supports student-led campaigns, projecting RGU to the wider Aberdeen community, not just to what we find in here, in the sense that I aim to bring on board the entire Scottish government to ensure that RGU is sold out properly. It wouldn't be just for certain secluded people, but it will be well structured, it will be well represented to the whole Scottish community, not just in Aberdeen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next we'll go to you, Yelena.
Hello everyone, my name is Yelena Radoikov and I'm running for the position of the President for Education and Democracy. The reason why I applied for this position is because I'm very passionate about building a community, especially in these very difficult, unprecedented times. And I believe that with right procedures in place, we can support each other and ensure that RGU and RGU Student Union does even better than it did before. I find that the biggest challenge facing the Student Union on all accounts is that student engagement is very difficult to achieve, and in order to ensure academic excellence and in order to ensure democratic processes and student feedback, my first aim is to, all of my aims is basically to strengthen engagement and to strengthen communication between different schools, different student reps, presidents, because even for this election, a lot of people don't know that it's happening. And a lot of people don't check their emails either. So I find that face-to-face is often the best way to go. So my first aim is to start a Students for Students scheme, kind of similar to what we already have when it comes to mental health support. But this would be more so for academic purposes, for example, older master students to support undergraduates, or PhD students to communicate with master students, give them advice, and so on. And this will also improve the data gathering about any issues that students might have at the present moment. The second aim that I have is, again, strengthening student communities and bringing students together. And I also believe that we need to have more transparency.
Okay, thank you very much. And over to you, Motashim.
Thank you very much, Rose. First of all, I would like to say thanks to Student Union for organizing student debates so students can hear us directly here and giving them a chance to know us well. And I'm more than happy to present who I am, what I'm doing, and what I'm going to do if I get elected. So my name is Motashim Iqbal, and I'm putting myself forward for the role of Student President, Education and Democracy. And my role and my journey here at RG is quite unique. I started as a student volunteer and then become a school officer for business school, and then I'm currently elected student president for education welfare at the Student Union. And I have achieved the aims that I have committed and you trusted me with. And I'm very grateful for all the support that I have got so far now from all the students. And I have 3 aims for this year, which I'll be working, and I'm keen and I'm very interested, which are exactly the feedback that I have observed and I have heard from students and different group of bodies like school officers, class reps, and societies and sports clubs. So my first aim is going to be student, I believe like student voices needs to be heard at each level, just like my colleagues are talking here as well. But I feel like it's good to have like more structured school level student voice forums rather than the generic ones, because I feel like we have committees and everything, but there are some concerns that can be overlooked when it comes to when we are looking like in generic. So I will bring school level student voice forum so we can talk directly to school officers and class reps what they need. So each school is unique, I believe. Because currently I'm in the role, I do understand grades work differently, business work differently, soccer do different things kind of thing. So I will be working at the root level with each school. So my second aim is going to be a stronger part-time job support. Although I feel like it's good to have opportunities, but part-time job is my... All right. And my last aim is going to be your union, your parliament, your union, which I will definitely going to discuss more in this debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next to Mohammed.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Rahman. I'm a 4th year film and media student, and my key aims are to focus on direct entrance students, so people who come in from college, international students as well who join in later years, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year onwards. I've always felt these students are placed at a disadvantage. I certainly felt like that because I'm a direct entrance student. And so I want to provide workshops for these guys that can help them navigate the kind of academic transition into university standards. As well as this, I feel Grays School of Art is not given enough representation. So one of my key aims as well was to have regular art showcases across the campus, because I know there's some in Riverside, but it's been quite limited recently, to have it across all the schools, just to show the talent, because Creative Courses, Grays School of Art is one of the best schools in art schools in Scotland, and it doesn't get enough recognition. So it also allows students to create a network as well. As well as that, I want to promote the mental health services as well. Students suffer with anxiety, a lot of mental health issues. I really want to promote that and get these services back up and running if they're not already. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And last but not least.
Hi guys, my name is Ramadan Adi. I'm an international student from Nigeria, and I've been able to handle numerous leadership roles back. And presently, I'm the current public relations officer of Nigerian Student Society. I'm also the welfare director or officer of volleyball club in RGU. Also, I have been an intermediary between the immigration team and international students across. I've been an active RGU student within the university, whereby I try to highlight the challenges and issues students are going through within the campus in terms of their education, in terms of their welfare, and also anything that is related to academic context, whereby we want to ensure the voice of the voiceless could be heard in one way or the other, also to provide a solution with those issues students are going through within the campus. And one of my key aims is to ensure that we incorporate AI into RGU education curriculum, whereby this is going to help international and the local students to be able to be well equipped in the future, also to be able to beat the innovation, as we all know that AI has come to stay. And one of the main vision and mission of Robert Gordon University is to ensure they transform people and community by providing excellent teaching, social inclusion, and employability. Those three vision and mission have actually as aligned with my aims and priority that I would definitely like to look into. Regarding the AI, I've realized that a lot of issues...
10 seconds left.
Thank you. Yeah. I've realized that a lot of issues are reoccurring every semester, which is AI misconduct. We will ensure we will advocate for the way...
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So if you keep the microphone there, we'll come to you next for the first question. So next we'll move on to questions for all of our candidates. The first group of questions are general questions about the role, and we'll ask you all the same question. So we'll come to you in order of that as well. And after you've all answered the question, you'll each have a chance to come back in if you'd like to ask each other questions or if you have any thoughts on what each of you have said. So at the university there's around 400 class reps, student reps registered with the union and across the university. So how will you work to ensure the feedback that they get from their classmates and their classes from their course mates is taken on board and can influence the future of teaching and learning across every school and every level of the university? And we'll start with you.
I must be honest with you, within the university, the voice of the voiceless has not been heard, and we have to inculcate the democratic leadership style within the university, whereby we can have a feedback tracker within the university from the class rep. It should be a role and responsibility of everyone to be able to report something. If you see something, you should be able to say something, and as an education president, I will ensure it is being sorted, definitely.
Okay, thank you very much. Next over to Clara. And I should have said each of you have about 1 minute to answer these questions.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. As a student representative myself, getting feedback from students had been a tug of war because the systems put in place do not really help us voice do not really help us voice, yes, our voices out. And even when that is done, who do we report to? How do we have systems structured? And trust me, I would put things in place in the manner that we are going to liaise as a student union with other representatives for the student community in ensuring that university hears, just as my brother said, the voice of the voiceless, because it is becoming something we need to really tackle. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next to you, Mohammed.
So I'm a course rep myself. I've been a course rep for 4 years. I was 2 years at college and 2 years here. In terms of course reps are integral to kind of gaining feedback on the course. And sometimes claims just aren't resolved. To combat this, I feel like communicating with course leaders is really important. Ultimately, they're the ones that decide what can be changed or what changes can be made. And it's also really important to kind of build that relationship between your class reps. Because I've been to a few meetings and often my claims aren't resolved. And, you know, I feel like it kind of creates a barrier in trust. And so I want to kind of create that trust between my course reps. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next along.
I think that student reps need more support from the President of Education and Democracy, because there aren't any procedures put in place, and the role of a student rep is very, how do I put it nicely, wishy-washy. So you have some student reps that really go above and beyond, and you have some that just communicate maybe once or twice per semester. So I think that the best way to improve that is to have the president sort of guide the student reps, and also discuss with them the feedback options that they could have depending on the school, because some schools will prioritize different ways of assessment. So some students will want to communicate with the course leader to change the assessment, for example. Some will be about the teaching itself.
10 seconds left.
So yeah, more cooperation.
Thank you very much. And finally with you, Moshim.
Thank you very much. I would say like there are systems in place already in RGU. We have a great, strong rep system and a school officer system as well. And I came from the same route. I started my journey from the root, so I know what is the role of a school officer and how president can support these initiatives. And this is my first aim is highlighting my first aim is dedicated on having a school level voices and having a school level structured student voice forums. If I get elected, I will implement this thing into the school level, and I will also advocate for a paid rep system in the schools, and we have like specific and I would say organized class reps, like chosen class reps who are active, who are taking part to contribute towards the feedback, and we can take those feedbacks into student experience subcommittees and other committees which are already existing in the university. So there are systems in place. We need to do awareness and we need to do right things. And I feel like we can achieve this. We can achieve this by putting school officers and class reps forward. It's about finding solution, not telling the problems.
Thank you very much. You've all had a chance to speak now. Does anyone else have any thoughts or comments on what's been said? Anything you'd like to come in on before we move to the next question? No? Okay. We'll move to the next question now. We'll start with you, Mohtasham. So we know that for students around the university, they tell us that engaging with extracurricular activities, with representative activities, is becoming increasingly difficult. They've got more going on outside of the university, more students are working than ever, and lots of other related responsibilities, care responsibilities. So I wonder if you could tell us, each of you tell us how you plan to engage with students more, and also in particular the important aspect of closing the feedback loop. How would you plan to work with students to do that?
Great. It's a good question, and it's a very important question because I do understand this thing, especially it's everything. Like right now we are going through cost of living crisis. We have other challenges. We have to go to part-time jobs. We have to manage our studies as well. We have to take part in extracurricular activities like sports and we have like societies, cultural societies and other things. And I think having things for students at their levels when they're coming to universities, on the days of the universities, they have classes. So we can, if we are working at the school level, I think this can be achievable. If we are organizing like some, a unified university level events, it's difficult to achieve. But if we have things at school levels, we can achieve them easily because they are coming to the schools, they have time, and they have breaks during their classes as well. Thanks.
Okay, next we're going on to Yelena.
I believe in engagement. So I would say a president needs to work with different school officers, and school officers need to work with student reps in order to.
No, so the question's in two parts. One is how you'll work to engage more students generally at a time when students are struggling to engage in extracurricular, and also how you'll work with them to make sure you're closing the feedback loop. Yeah,
well, the student president needs to be more transparent and more present in regular student life, because I personally haven't known that we have presidents in the student union. So attending Welcome Week, attending course meetings, attending school meetings will probably be really helpful to build connections and also get feedback.
Okay, thank you very much. Next along now.
So I would say building personal relationships with students around the uni, that builds trust and confidence, as well as this to... Sorry, what was the second part of that question?
Closing the feedback loop. How will you work with students to do that?
So it ties into my last answer where I said course reps, of course, are really important as well, and to relay their feedback to course leaders as well, because they're ultimately in charge of that. So again, building the trust, transparency between them, I think that's really important. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Next along.
Thank you. Student engagement is something that is very, very crucial to the system, and we should never overlook at it. From the representative that from each department, I mean from each school, we will definitely work in collaboration with the SSO and the class rep. However, it shouldn't be the responsibility of the class rep and the SSO all alone. It should be the responsibility of the whole university. You understand what I mean? Because looking out for each other is something that is very, very essential, which is part of the core vision and mission of the Robert Gordon University, which is social inclusion and social equity within the system. That being said, a lot of students have the anxiety of expressing themselves. I'm being honest with you, and I've been able to highlight the strengths and the weaknesses of each student within the university. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I have the question repeated again?
Of course. So a key part of the role is engaging with students, and we know that students are finding it increasingly more difficult to engage with extracurricular and representative activities. So how would you work to engage more students, and in particular, how would you support them in closing the feedback loop?
Thank you. As being voted into power for Education and Democracy President, I will ensure that the student community develops a stronger democratic voice for everybody, leading student-led campaigns, and making the system more attractive, more feasible, more accessible to students, because some students do not really know so much about this union. So having regular inter-class meetings, having more feedback systems, and even with the feedback, knowing what the feedback given from the students, we have to act right on it. And I will also ensure that there is a stronger postgraduate community to engage the entirety of the student. It shouldn't be just for undergraduate, it shouldn't be just for postgraduate, it should be for the entirety of the student community for RGU. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think we've got a question coming in from Instagram.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got a question online, which is that there are currently student school officers, or SSOs, who can also help the class reps. How have the candidates researched the systems that are already in place and engaged with the current president or SSOs to gain a wider view?
And we'll start with you, Clara.
Kindly repeat again, sorry.
So the question is that there are currently student school officers as part of the student union. They're called SSOs as well, and they help class reps. So how have the candidates researched the systems already in place and engaged with the current presidents or with the SSOs to gain a wider view?
Honestly, being a student representative, I haven't had any communication with the students' officers, honestly. So I do struggle to find my feet in relating with them. It is something new to me. I wouldn't lie. It is something new to me. And I would enforce that these SSOs play their major role in bringing the class reps at a common front, working collectively with the students and the university as a whole, letting them be seen, because it is something students do not know about. And when being in power, I will ensure every student union member puts his feet on the ground to work as supposed to be. Let the people see you for who you are. Represent the students as supposed to.
Okay, moving along.
As a compassionate leader, I will definitely, the mode of operandi I will put in place is to ensure that the door is open for everyone to walk into the office and express their grievances. If perhaps there's something wrong with your mental health, I can work with this.
Sorry to interrupt. It was quite a specific question that was asked.
Okay, what's the question?
Which is how in your plans to run for these roles have you researched the current mechanisms that are in place, and what is your awareness of the current mechanisms that are in place?
Definitely, as I said earlier, the current mechanism that we can put in place is to ensure that we're strengthening the communication skills between the SSOs and the class rep. And by ensuring that this will foster a growth within the academic.
Sorry, it was a very specific question about what research have you done into what the current mechanisms are, and what is your awareness of the current mechanisms? Not what you're planning to do, but what have you done to find out about what's already going on?
Regarding the SSO and the class rep?
Regarding the current student representative system, yes.
Yeah, the current representative have not been performing their tasks up to the expectation. So far, so good, because some students were raising concern about how the timetable schedule and how everything is being done. If it happens that there is an opportunity for everyone to raise a concern, because I don't feel the class rep has been doing excellently well, so far so good. The communication barrier is in there between the class rep and the student. It should be noted that the academic policy stated that students may not attend 1 hour lecture throughout the whole day. However, the policy is there, but it's not being implemented.
Okay, we'll move along. Thank you.
So I understand that there's a bit of a hierarchy system with class reps and SSOs. I will be honest, I've not fully researched the entire how it works, but this is something that I am currently working on. I'm currently working to understand more. But again, I think it's important to liaise with course reps and SSOs to really understand what it is that the issues are. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
From my understanding, I'm currently in the position of the Academic and Social Council for Postgraduate Law. I'm the president of the council. But in general, most of our current structures aren't really clearly communicated to the students, so I wasn't even aware of the council existing until I joined it. When it comes to student officers, I have had some communication with the postgraduate law one, so I know that they're there as a point of support. I just think that this isn't as well communicated as it could be.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I did a great research, and I'm currently working with the class reps and the school officers as well. Currently, I'm into the role, and I feel like right now, if you want to become a student president, you should not be, just like my colleague was mentioning here, we should not be blaming the students. We, as a president, you should be working for the students, you should be working for the class reps, you should be working for the school officers. And that is what I'm saying, that is what I will deliver, to have a more structured school level student voice forum, so class reps of Grace can sit together, other class reps from each school can sit together, talk about their concerns, and as president, you should be finding the solutions, not blaming others.
Thank you very much, Moshim. Not quite the question again, but I'll give anyone else a chance to come back in if anyone would like to before we move on.
Yep.
Moshim?
Yeah.
Okay, quickly.
So I just have like questions with Ramadan and Clara. So it's like they're saying they are not aware of these things and they don't know, they have not done the research. How they will perform if they get elected as student president?
I never made mention that I'm not aware, but I'm saying the communication gap between the SSO and the class rep is not effective enough. That's what I said. Thank you.
Feedback, sorry, the question again. SSO, me not being aware.
I think
so the question is like, if you are not aware of these things, or if you don't know how if you get elected, how you will do it. So the question was from the audience or from the student is like, how you will perform if you get elected as student president for school officer and class reps.
I said my interaction with SSOs hasn't been personal. I haven't ever had the privilege to channel the concerns of my cohorts to them. Anytime my cohort tend to have a challenge or a problem, I rather do go to the president himself to deliver the challenge. But I feel there should be other systems of communication put in place. Not all issues are to be directed directly to the president. These people must serve as a bridge between the presidency and the students, the students in my class. I mean, as a student representative, the SSOs must play an intermediary role. That was what I tried to point here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Yelena or Mohammed, do you have anything you want to add at this point, or should we move on to the next question? Yeah, Yelena.
I just wanted to add a little comment that all of this discussion isn't really about blaming student representatives or student officers. It's more so, I personally believe that the president should be the one to take initiative and to connect these different levels of support that students have but aren't aware of.
Okay, thank you very much.
I just want to say thanks for
a very quick
accepting
way
it.
then. Okay, thank you very much. So we'll start with Elena for the next question, and we'll work our way along to the end, and then back to Motishim. So the next question is around the union's relationship with the NUS, the National Union of Students. So to start off with, what is your opinion on the union's relationship with the NUS?
I believe it could be improved, like most, like most relations, like most things that are put in place. It could be improved. There could be a clearer communication put in place, but again, that's something that also I would work on to engage more with the National Union of Students and to even possibly gain advice and cooperation with other schools that are part of the National Union of Students. So, yeah.
Okay, we'll go along next to Mohammed.
Sorry, could you repeat the question real quickly?
Yeah, what's your opinion on the union's relationship with the National Union of Students?
Okay, so I am not entirely familiar with the NUS. I'll be honestly real with you, but I think I've not heard of it. So there's obviously room for a development in the relationship there, and this is something that I would work towards. Of course, you could argue that maybe I'm unfamiliar with it, but this doesn't go to say that there's obviously more to learn for the role. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next along.
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate the effort of the current administration, the President of Democracy and Communication President. He has done well, so far so good, and he has been able to represent the NUC at all levels. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to work in hand with him as well to gain more knowledge about NUC relationship with the Student Union. That first. Secondly, I will represent international students down there to ensure that our immigration status is very, very certain within the university, because international students are going through a lot, and let's see how we can...
Okay, again, the question was specifically about the National Union of Students, not within the university. So have you got any more thoughts on that before we move on?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Regarding the NUS, yeah, the university, I have the policy of building RGU to the wider Aberdeen, not just within the Aberdeen community, but including Aberdeenshire and, if possible, to the Scottish Government. And partnering if I be the president, I would partner with the NUS president to ensure that whatever systems put in structure for the Scottish Government for education is being implemented, strengthening education, strengthening communication, that the student here wouldn't be left in a loop, not knowing what to do after school or how to even get into the school borders in the first place. Yeah, so just to strengthen communication between the NUS, there should be a free flow of communication from the NUS board to RGU. It shouldn't be no more hindrances. We should know what is going on in the wider Aberdeen community.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. And we'll come back over to Motishim.
Thank you very much. If I get elected as a student president for education democracy, I will work very closely with the sabbatical officers from all over the Scotland and with the president of the Scotland who at the NUS, and I will raise concerns like cost of living and the deductions of fundings for the universities for the higher education. So we need to talk
about... The question was your opinion on the union's relationship, not what you plan to do with NUS.
So I will build a strong relationship with the National Union of Students, and I will work very closely with the sabbatical officers, as I mentioned earlier, and I will raise concerns with them directly which are affecting students from RGU. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think we've got another question from online now.
Yeah, that's right. This is a follow-up question coming in through Instagram relating to that, and it's what if NUS Scotland is not too active or not doing many events in Scotland? How will you approach that?
Okay, and we'll start with Mohammed this time.
I think ultimately it's just about communication. It's just about creating these events, working with them closely. Like you've mentioned, there's obviously a gap in the relationship between the NUS and the union, so it's just about strengthening that, creating events, and having more engagement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll go along this way.
Definitely, if NUC is not active, we can, as an education and democracy president, and which I feel concerned about my people, I would definitely reach out to the management team of the university tell them what is the current situation of the things, and let's see how we can provide a solution to those problems. Thank you.
The question again, kindly.
Yeah, so the question was if NUS Scotland aren't active and aren't doing much to put on events and activities in Scotland, what would you do about that?
That is to the NUS, right?
Yes, NUS Scotland. So
Okay, since NUS Scotland is serving as a bridge between the presidency or the leadership here in RGU and to the wider Aberdeen, we can just write to the Scottish government to put a feed into a look into matters regarding the national concerns of students in Scotland at a wider range. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Elena?
I think in these situations, it's very important to have someone in position of a president who will take initiative so if NUS isn't doing as much as it could be doing, I personally would try to contact them, try to connect with other presidents in different schools, try to organize some kind of a scheme for advocating for students or organizing more events. So I think taking initiative is really important.
Okay, thank you. Mr.
So if NUS is not performing a lot of events, so if you get elected as a student president, you go to a lot of conferences which are organized conferences by the NUS. So I will go to those conferences, I will take the feedback, I will collect the feedback from the students of Robert Gordon University, and I will take that feedback with me onto those conferences, highlight the student concerns and issues and challenges that we are facing here at RGU and all over the Scotland level.
Okay, thank you very much. We've got one question from in the room, and then we'll go to your individual questions, and we'll finish off with some more from in the room or online.
Right. I'm going back to the question on NUS again because it's very important. The current NUS Scotland president is a past vice president for welfare for the University of Aberdeen. So she's right here in the community. She's right here in Aberdeen. But there are times over the last 2-3 years, both NUS Scotland and NUS UK have diverted from what sabbatical officers are doing in their institutions. So sometimes you have NUS fighting for cost of living crisis when various institutions are talking about mental health fund, and it happens over and over again. My question is simple. Would you break away from the NUS if you have to, when they are not representing the interest and the direction to which your institution and your sabbatical officer union is working towards?
Okay, we'll start with you, Motishim. And very quick answers on this. It was, I believe, a yes or no question.
So definitely, as I'm a current elected student president, so I'm currently working with Sai. Yes, he mentioned correctly. Sai is our current president for the Scotland, and we are discussing a lot of concerns over there. And I feel like my peers have not studied the role very well. And
Motishim, the question was specifically, if you needed to break away from the NUS, would you?
If you
needed to break away and leave the NUS, if they weren't doing what you and other elected presidents wanted, would you do that?
So if you leave the NUS?
Yes, would you do that if you had to?
So as student president, no, I don't think so. Leaving or quitting is a solution. I think fighting is a solution. Providing feedback is a solution. It's like working with, it's like just, if you're just running, you're not doing anything. And as student president, I will be accountable. I will work and I will find solutions to it.
Okay, thank you very much. Next along. Yes.
If it's necessary, I would say yes, but with a big caveat of there needs to be something to fall back on, because if we want to adequately represent and advocate for students, it can't be just one student president from one school. So if we were to leave NUS because they're not representing the students, there would need to be something put in place, something organized, a different national union or something like that, so that there is something.
Thank you very much. Next along.
To answer your question, yes, because as President of Education and Democracy, you're representing students, and if it's not benefiting students, then there's no reason to stay. And of course, I agree with what my peers are saying as well. So yeah, to simply answer it, yes, I would break away.
Thank you.
Breaking away is not the solution, as Montashim said earlier. I think we can collaborate to foster growth and development so that the community will benefit in one way or the other. Breaking away is not the solution for me. I feel like collaboration with them, engaging with them, kind of creating a room for more meetings, upon meetings, will definitely benefit everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No would be my answer, because in representing student affairs, we should be ready to face these challenges, and when that is to happen, it is our responsibility to enforce policies in being implemented, in ensuring that policies are put in place. Just as we have said, we should ensure that there is a doing part of whatever we've said. So breaking away is not the option.
Okay, thank you all very much. A very quick comment, and then we'll need to move on to your individual questions.
And also that decision would depend on what the student body wants. So it's not just a decision we can make.
Okay, thank you. So we'll go back up to Clara now. We'll go through your individual questions, and then we'll come to the room for one final question that we've got as well. Clara, in your manifesto you discuss using the existing student representation system to support students. How will you use the existing student school officer and class rep roles in order to do this?
Come again, the question, please. Sorry.
In your manifesto, you discuss using existing student representative systems to support all students. So how would you work to use the existing student school officer and class rep roles to do this?
The student representatives have always served as a bridge for the university and the union, giving a voice to the voiceless, providing solutions to current problems and situations where students find it difficult approaching the union themselves. So using my role as a representative, is that a question?
Sorry?
Is that a question? Using my role as a representative.
The question is, how would you use the existing student school officer and class rep roles to achieve your aims?
Strengthening the bond between them. Communication must flow. We must close the communication gaps. The SSO must be approachable. The student must be aware that there is an SSO serving as an intermediary for the student representative and the entire school. Communication must flow. Strengthening the communication gaps, yeah.
Okay, so you've talked about strengthening the communication gaps and increasing awareness.
Yeah.
How would you actually do that?
By, in my manifesto, I wrote here that inclusion, respecting the voices of others, given diversity, we believe, we are RGU and we believe in diversity, so I'm going to enforce that everybody comes on board to ensure that his or her role has been played, not leaving other people about, not secluding certain people for certain roles, for certain structures, but involving the entire RGU community. Yeah, respecting the views of other people as well.
So do you think that currently specific people or specific roles are being secluded from the student representative network?
Somehow, yes.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to the next question for you, Ramadan. So in your manifesto, you identify key education areas that you'd like to focus on this year if you are elected, but you don't reference the union's democratic structures or the student representative roles. So how does your manifesto support the democratic structures that already do exist to ensure that the voices of all students are heard?
Yeah, as I said earlier, student engagement is very, very crucial in the system, and a lot of students have the anxiety of expressing themselves, and that is the reason why I'm coming with the idea of, if anybody, as a student, if you see something, you should be able to say something. As an education president, I will ensure it is sorted, and the mode of operandi is, if possibly we can have a suggestion box in each building, perhaps once in a week, and the mode of operandi is, I should be approachable if possibly they can't meet their class rep, or they feel like they are not confident to meet their school representative officer. They can definitely walk into the building and discuss the issues with me. Definitely, that is a way we can foster system engagement within the university.
Okay, so thank you. So you've talked there about you being a direct contact for students.
Exactly.
There's obviously thousands of students here at the university. The original question was, how would you work within the current democratic structures? How would you work with reps, school officers and others in order to support students?
Strengthening the communication, because that has actually been the gap. But I feel like most students still don't feel confident in expressing themselves to their class rep. And that is the reason why there are some certain things they might feel like they want to make it anonymous. So we should ensure that we create an avenue where student voice could be heard without hold them responsible or accountable for anything they've actually said. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. And next for you, Mohammed. So when asked about the biggest issue facing students at the university, you mentioned society membership and promotion. Do you believe that that is the biggest issue facing students across the university?
I don't believe it's the biggest issue, but I think it's one that's really stood out to me personally. Obviously, I think there's cost of living issues, there's other extra stuff that kind of affects students, but societies don't get enough engagement. In my class alone, I think there's 20 people and 3 people are part of societies, and I think societies are so integral to being at university. It creates community. It's a community outside of your classroom. So I think it's really important. Do I believe it's the biggest issue? No, but I think it's definitely up there.
Okay, thank you very much. And just a follow-up on that, your role is obviously around, the role you're running for is around education and democracy, and there's another president who looks after societies and support for societies. So how would you work to support students in engaging with societies without encroaching on the work of that other president?
Of course. So I think it's about working closely with the president of society and society and welfare, am I correct in saying? Yeah. So yeah, it's just about working closely. Again, I don't want to encroach anyone, but obviously I have a background in media and advertising and stuff, so I think definitely promoting it outside of social media, putting it more around the university so it's more visible to students, I think that would be a good step. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next on to you, Yanela. So in your manifesto you talk about strengthening communication for support available for students as a strategy that you'll use if you are elected. What other actions will you take to, if you were elected, to ensure that student voices are represented and that they're heard within the democratic structures at the university?
Well, first of all, as a president, I will try to be as visible and as present as possible. I know that we have a lot of students, but I think showing up face-to-face is really beneficial, and talking to people face-to-face is really beneficial when it comes to encouraging them to engage with the services that are available to them. I had a lot of people come up to me and ask me about the Inclusion Center or the Career Service. They would rather ask me than go and use those services themselves. So I personally would try to be as present as possible and to communicate as much as I can with different club leaders, even professors for different schools, different modules, and also obviously student reps and student officers.
Okay, thanks very much. And just on that, you've talked there about engaging with club leaders and others, but obviously you touched at the end there on engaging with student reps.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you actually do that? You've talked about strengthening communication. What would you actually do?
Again, hopefully meet them face to face, but also when I was organizing, I'm organizing currently an international trip for a postgraduate law. I was organizing a Christmas party, and I was talking to like professors, asking them for contact details for other students, coming up to other students who are in classes that I'm not, asking them if they know someone who is interested. So,
okay. Thanks very much. And over to you, Muhtashim, for the last of the individual questions. So one of your priority aims in your manifesto, in there you state that you want to strengthen student democracy and have a proper student parliament. And you've also talked earlier on in your opening statement about working to create student voice forums within schools as well. Given that the new union democratic structure has already been implemented and is being implemented, and will cover both of those things already, what will you actually do to support the development of these as they are implemented?
So my aim 3 is basically strengthening the democracy and how I'm going to achieve this. So just to confirm, are you trying to say, should I explain my third aim?
So you said in the aim that you will implement a proper student parliament.
Yep.
And earlier on you talked about the fact that you would implement student voice forums within the schools. These things are already going to happen. These students have passed it, the union is implementing them. So what will you actually do to make them as effective as possible?
So of course, I'm the current elected president, and I was working very closely with my colleagues and with the student union staff as well, implementing those voices. And that is why I have put this thing in place. I've also highlighted there should be a proper committee who should be looking after all these things. And in my aim 1, this is something relevant to academics. This is relevant to school officers and class reps. When it comes to parliament, it is more like generic questions and generic concerns faced by students of the university. So it's like, just like I feel like there is a gap right now between student union and sports clubs and other things. And I feel like student parliament is more into having a democratic structure, having more say of student voices into it. So that is like a more generic, it's going to be a collaboration with school officers, societies, presidents, and school officers as well.
Absolutely, but the question was specifically, that's already happening. Whether you're in your role or not, a student parliament will be implemented. So how will you work to make that as efficient as possible?
I will make sure as a student president that things go like, things goes smoothly and effectively and efficiently. And I have the experience, I have served this, I have worked on it. So I will make sure things happen accordingly, smoothly and efficiently.
Okay, thank you very much. We've got a quick question in the room, one last question, and then we'll finish up there.
So, to Mo, having been the president for over 10 months, many student reps, especially at Grey School of Art and Garden and S, feel excluded from the university-wide activities and decision makings. So, how do you explain this gap, and what concrete steps have you been taking to ensure all reps are meaningfully involved, including students are included? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question. I would say, yes, when I became a student president, there was a gap between the Grey School of Art students and the student union. And throughout the year, I'm working very closely with the reps, school officers of the Grey School of Art. I'm the first president who bring the supper club to the Grey School of Art for the first time this year. So I am trying my best, I'm listening their concerns, I'm delivering them, and I have like, I think I have like listened to their issues, I have highlighted their issues in the, with the top management committees as well. So I think I'm in a good relationship with Grey School of Arts right now.
Okay, anyone else got any thoughts or comments on that before we move on? Okay, no, so we'll move over next to an Instagram question.
So we've got two questions for Ramadan here. One is that you spoke about suggestion boxes and putting suggestion boxes in place. One of the comments says that suggestion boxes are already available. What new things can you bring? And then there's also another question for you where you talk about students having anxiety when it comes to voicing their viewpoints. Having experienced some behaviour of candidates during the election, how do you plan to make yourself approachable to these students?
Okay, so we'll go, if you can pass the microphone along, please.
Firstly, I've been visible for the past 6 months, or if I'm not exaggerating, 1 year. I've been in the system and I know the strengths and the weaknesses of most international and the local students. They feel safe around me when they are speaking with me. They feel so confident in expressing their grievances. And for you to verify this, you can go to the Student Help Hub. You will find my fingerprint there. Taking them there if they are having any issue, if I can provide solution, and if possibly, sometimes I take them to the current administration president to provide a solution to the issue they are going through if it is beyond what I can handle. So far so good, I've been visible. That shows that I'm approachable, definitely, and I'm going to create a method whereby students can even reach me and come into the office, explain their grievances, and I'll be moving all around the campus, ask students and the reps what are the issues and contemporary challenges they are going through. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments from any of the others there? No? Okay, so any more questions online? No? Okay, so we'll go to one last very quick question that we've got for you all, and we'll start with you in the middle there. Mohammed. So how will you use the union's democratic structures to ensure that student voices are heard? And in particular, because there's lots and lots of different opportunities for students to engage, how will you make sure their views go to the right place?
Yeah, so I believe that democracy is quite low from students. Students rarely feel impacted by the decisions made by presidents. A lot of students don't engage with the voting, and I saw that last year, and it felt very forced. I think it should be people voting because they want to see change, because they believe that a president can make the difference. So I think they need to see that their vote genuinely impacts them. and it's an entire university-wide issue. Does that answer your question slightly?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next. On you go. Yeah. So the question was, how will you, given that there's so many democratic kind of structures and opportunities for students to provide feedback in the university, how would you work to make sure that their feedback goes to the right place?
The feedback of each student will be considered. As I said earlier, that we should not overlook or unheard any student. You can do that too through feedback tracker, whereby we reach out to each class representative, if possibly they can give us information about how things is going on within the university, and how they've been doing well with their academics, and let's see how we can ensure that we create continuous improvement in the system, because RGU have done a lot of things to ensure that students are in a safe place, and me coming in as an education and democracy president is to ensure there's a continuous improvement within the system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question. In having students' voices being heard, I believe opening student forums not just for the course reps, but making it visible and attainable by the entire RGU student community, engaging students in active participation, yes, and making the leadership visible, attractive, and easily accessible. We should find our leaders when we are in need of help. They should be easily approachable as well. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Back this way to Elena.
I believe the current democratic processes need to be better explained to the students so that they know what their voice is going to influence. And I also think that the feedback that students are giving needs to be possibly reviewed so that students are actually able to leave feedback on things that they feel are relevant to them and important to them. Because sometimes, like even for module feedback, students, the questions that are posed, first of all, students don't fill them out, but also the questions that are posed perhaps don't enable them to actually provide feedback that they would like to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. If I have to face this challenge, I will work very closely with other two presidents for the societies and welfare and sports presidents to achieve this thing. So whatever the concerns that we are getting from democratic structure like parliaments, all right, I will listen to them. I will work with my other student presidents. So collaboration is needed here. Second of all, I will go to the departments of the university. For example, if this concern is relevant to student life, I will go there. If the challenges are from employability, I will go there. If the challenges are with finance, I will go there. If the challenges are which department, if it is something which is at a university level, I will go to the vice chancellor as well. So I will go to the university departments. We have partnership, we have student life, we have employability, we have a lot of departments in the university. So I will go there, I will raise concerns as a student president.
Okay, thank you very much. We've just got 1 minute left. Does anyone have any final comments on that question they want to make? Do you want to pass the microphone along?
My question is to Mutashim. What step have you taken so far so good as education and welfare president regarding employability rates within the university? And what are your contributions so far so good regarding that, if I may ask? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramadan, for the question. So far this year, I think we did a very tremendous job with my other colleague Brian. So we did a collaboration with 5 other Scottish universities, and we worked on a project which is like employability and sustainability project. We did a collaboration with 5 Scottish universities. 14 teams from all over the Scotland participated, and there was a prize money of £1,000, which is a huge amount for the students. And I'm honored to announce that 2 teams from Robert Gordon University have won first and third prize. So we, Robert Gordon University students, have won a lot of things.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. So thank you very much to everyone for tuning in today, to our candidates for joining us, to everyone who is here in the room, as well as those of you who have tuned in online. Remember to join us at the same time tomorrow to hear from the last of these events, to hear from the student parliament members wanting to be elected, and also remember that voting is open next week from Tuesday to Thursday. and the results will be announced next Friday at 2 p.m. Before then, you can read about all of our students standing for election, their manifestos, why they think you should vote for them on the Student Union's website. From me, good luck to all the candidates. Thank you for everyone tuning in. Thank you very much and goodbye.